There's a delicate, yet crucial balance. The balance between inner peace and financial security. We often spend our entire lives chasing the latter, believing that once we achieve it, the former will naturally follow. But reality is rarely that simple. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever, on a quiet night right after reaching a major financial milestone, that number in your account you once dreamed of, found yourself lying there, and instead of feeling complete, you heard a whisper, a faint whisper, yet unmistakably clear, it's still not enough. What if it all disappears? Your mind knows you're safe. The numbers are real. But somehow, your heart still tightens, still feels lacking. That feeling, the sense of never enough, isn't a number in your bank account. It's a state of mind, a scar from the past, an invisible pressure from the present. It has a name, the wound of scarcity. An unseen wound, yet one that quietly shapes almost every financial decision we make. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little who is poor, but the one who craves more." This is a journey of reflection and healing. A journey from the fear of not enough to the peace of sufficiency. Before we go deeper, let's clarify something. We must distinguish between objective poverty and the scarcity mindset. Objective poverty is when you truly lack the basic resources to survive, to feel safe. It's a systemic, material issue. But the scarcity mindset is different. It's an internal feeling, a deep-rooted belief, a chronic fear that there will never be enough, no matter your actual financial situation. It's a lens that colors how you see the world, a world defined by what's missing. Let me tell you about Sarah, a friend of mine who lives in the US. Sarah grew up in a working-class family in a small town. Her childhood was filled with the sound of her parents worrying, stretching every paycheck just to make it to the next one. The phrase she heard most often was, "We can't afford that." Now, Sarah is 35, a senior manager at a tech company in San Francisco, six-figure salary, a solid 401k, a growing stock portfolio. On paper, she's made it. She's living the American dream. But Sarah checks her bank account every single day. Not to celebrate, but to make sure it's still there. The soft click of the mouse, a quiet sigh, a heartbeat echoing in the distance. Thump, thump. She feels an immense guilt every time she buys herself something nice. Even when she can fully afford it, she hesitates to take a truly luxurious vacation because that inner voice always whispers, "What if something happens? Better save it just in case." Sarah has money, but she doesn't have peace. She has wealth, but not a sense of abundance. She lives like a guardian of fear. The fear of that little 8-year-old girl. The one who once heard, "We can't afford that," still dictates the financial behavior of the 35-year-old woman she's become. That is the scarcity mindset in action. And Sarah's story isn't unique. This mindset shows up in our financial and emotional lives through 3 main patterns. See if you can recognize yourself in them. First, constant comparison. You scroll through social media, you see someone buying a house, a new car, or traveling somewhere beautiful, and instantly, you feel smaller, slower, less successful. The joy from what you already have evaporates in the shadow of what you don't. It's the exhaustion of a soul, trapped in an endless race. Second, fear-driven financial behavior. This fear pushes us toward two extremes: hoarding. Like Sarah, you save obsessively. You deny yourself experiences, health, and joy. Because of the whisper, what if I need it later? FOMO. Fear of missing out, you rush into high-risk investments, afraid others will get rich without you. Both patterns are born from fear, not strategy. Third, emotional spending. Buying to fill the void. Each new purchase offers a brief, shallow relief, but it never lasts. The package is opened, the joy fades, and the wound of scarcity remains. Where does this wound come from? Like Sarah's story, it might begin in childhood, growing up with material limitations, or it's constantly fed by a consumerist world that keeps telling us you need one more thing to be happy. But beneath it all, the wound is not really about money. At its core, it's the fear of being unsafe, and even deeper, the fear of being unworthy. Unless we have more, when facing this deep-rooted fear, Stoicism offers a powerful antidote. The Stoics never told us to ignore financial reality. They never said that money is evil. They taught us to master the one thing we can truly control our own mind. Let's return to Seneca's words. It is not the man who has too little who is poor, but the one who craves more. Seneca was redefining what it means to be rich or poor. He spoke of the poverty of desire, the idea that our suffering doesn't come from events themselves. For example, I only have 10 coins, but from our judgment of those events. Having 10 coins is a disaster. The problem isn't how much you have. The problem is how much you think you need. If your desires are limitless, if you're always reaching for more, then no matter how much you possess, you will always feel poor. The second key lies in the dichotomy of control, the core principle of Stoicism. In finance, we can't control inflation, the stock market, or our boss's decisions, but there are a few things we can control. 1. Our response to what happens. Do we panic or stay calm? 2. Our actions. Do we budget, learn, and grow new skills? 3. And most importantly, our desires. The scarcity mindset fixates on what's beyond our control. Sufficiency, on the other hand, is about focusing on what we can control, our actions, our understanding, and our own definition of enough. I, too, have wrestled with that whisper of not enough. There were seasons in my life when, even with a steady income, I felt haunted by the need to do more, to fill my calendar, to say yes to every opportunity. Not because I truly needed the money, but because I was afraid that if I stopped, everything would fall apart. That feeling of not enough isn't a loud thought. It's more like an underground current, a subtle restlessness in the chest. The path to healing from that fear isn't easy. It demands self-awareness and courage. Only when I recognized the soul's exhaustion did I begin to walk this journey seriously and with intention. So, how do we begin this deeply practical journey? The journey of healing the wound of scarcity and discovering the peace of sufficiency. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a soul and finance journey, one that requires patient practice, blending grounded action with mindful reflection. Step 1. Define your enough. The gentle sound of pen on paper. This is the most practical and powerful. Steps: sit down, be honest, calculate clearly. How much do you truly need to live a meaningful life? Break it down. Your living costs, your emergency fund, your long-term, value-aligned goals. When you have a clear number, your personal enough, you free yourself from the endless, undefined chase of more. You finally have a finish line. Step 2. Practice negative visualization. This is a powerful Stoic exercise. Spend a few quiet minutes each morning imagining that you lose the things you often take for granted: your job, your home, your health, your savings. The goal isn't to feel fear. The goal is that when you return to reality, you open your eyes, look around, and feel profound gratitude for what remains: the soft chime of a wind bell, or the vibration of a singing bowl, a sound that brings you back to the present. Gratitude is the most powerful antidote to the scarcity mindset. It instantly shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already here. Step 3. Embrace discomfort and volatility. Life is uncertain. Money is always in motion. The scarcity mindset is born from resisting that uncertainty. Instead of fearing it, learn to prepare for it. You build an emergency fund, not because you fear the future. You build it because you accept that the future is unpredictable. And this is your wise way to meet it calmly. True wealth isn't about having more money. It's about having the inner peace, to not let money control your peace of mind. Step 4. Invest in inner value. Your greatest asset isn't in your brokerage account. It's within you. It's your skills, your wisdom, your health, your inner peace. Markets can crash. Inflation can erode money. But your skills, your wisdom, and your adaptability, no one can take those from you. Use money, finance, as a tool to strengthen soul and wisdom, mind and spirit. That is the most sustainable investment of all. The wound of scarcity, if it has lived within you since childhood, like Sarah's story, it won't disappear overnight. That anxious voice will still be there. It will surface sometimes when you see someone who seems to have more, or when the market dips, but now you have the tools to recognize it. You can name it without being pulled under by it. We now hold the compass of Stoicism, that true wealth is not about having more, but about wanting less. That absolute freedom comes from mastering your desires. We now have the soul and finance journey, a delicate dance of balance, balancing between building an outer foundation of financial stability to ease real-world fears and nurturing an inner world of gratitude and sufficiency to find peace within. In the end, sufficiency isn't a number or a financial goal. It's a state of mind, a conscious choice, a daily practice of returning to what truly matters. And perhaps we can close this reflection with one question, not for this week, but for this very moment. Today, right now, what does enough truly mean to you? May you find peace in the quiet fullness of your own enough.